Hey, good evening, folks. Papa D here, coming to you again from Central Florida for the next in the series of launches today from the Cape. Next coming up this evening, as promised earlier this evening, hope you stopped in and spent some time with us earlier for the earlier launch where we had our second potential moon landing craft going up. IM-2 from sure we've got our live feed just getting ready to come up here, but this is going to be Starlink Group 1213. This is also coming out of the Cape. The payload tonight is 21 of the V2 satellites, version 2 satellites. The high-speed data transfer with a mix of, I believe it's 13 satellites. And again, this is coming out of the Cape this evening. Unfortunately, was not able yet to pull up the details on the booster, which was very unusual. But we are launching out of Slick 40 this evening, the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. And this will be the 443rd mission of this year. I'm going to cut right over to the feed as we are about almost 4 minutes from launch of the vehicle. Alrighty. And it looks like we are at this point. I've lost some of my audio on this end, so I do apologize for that if I'm coming over top of the audio feed. But at this point in time, we are nearing being fully fueled. We're looking at 1 million pounds of fuel and oxidizer once the craft is fully fueled. At about 1 minute, the vehicle will take over internal control. And of course, the flight can be terminated at any point by ground control, but the vehicle is totally autonomous and will conduct its mission in that fashion. Again, we're looking at a payload of 21, which is standard. Starlink, we're looking at 21 to 23 on average. And this will be added to the existing constellation in low Earth orbit. I'm going to stand by here just for a bit. We're about 2.5 minutes out. And if you are in the Central Florida area, anywhere within, we're about 65 miles from the Cape, you should be able to catch this. We had an earlier flight this evening, like I said, and that was very, very clear. We've had good weather. Weather right now, locally, we're just in the mid-60s. Skies are clear. We should have a good launch with a T0 looking right now at 10:34. Again, this is Starlink Group 12-13. And enjoy the launch. And I'll be back in. Again, just real quick, thank you to SpaceX, as usual. Thank you to our subscribers. Please subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. Please hit the notify button, the like button. All those things help out Papa D. Get the page out. We are a non-funded, non-monetized page. We just do this because we love being out there and sharing this awesome thing we call space exploration and the commercial space flight, what it has done over the last 10 years and what it continues to do with folks like SpaceX. Be right back. Enjoy the last minute before T0. I'll be back shortly. All right, folks, we have liftoff. We have an on-time liftoff of Group 12 13, SpaceX's most recent launch from here at the Cape. Be coming up here on Max Q very, very shortly. Max Q is the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure placed on the vehicle. All right, we have coming up in quick succession now a number of events that'll take place fairly quickly. We will have MECO, which is main engine cutoff, stage separation, fairing separation, and then, of course, the ignition of the second stage carrying the payload. These will all take place in a fairly quick succession. And let's stand by and wait for MECO. All right, looks like we do have a good clean MECO and stage SEP. Second stage ignition coming online, looking very good. Pictures coming through from SpaceX, as usual. Thank you so much. As I always have said, they knock it out of the park time, and we are very fortunate to be able to bring this kind of coverage that they provide to us to you. As you can see, we do have, or we had, the opening up of the fairings. There we go, the fairings opening up and releasing. Each one of those will be collected and reused. Cost savings to SpaceX of around $1 million for each half. So that all lines up with the ultimate goal of reuse and reusability and cost savings. Of course, we're not getting much of a picture there on the left-hand side. There's the camera is more than likely looking straight on down stage one. As hopefully we get number one closer to the atmosphere, when those grid fins start to heat up, you'll see them glowing a little bit. Then, of course, you'll see the little bit of light from the ground and possibly from the return ship. Just read the instructions. Again, thank you, Matthew, and appreciate that. Right now we've got altitude beginning to burn off a little bit, or speed burning off a little bit. We're coming up on the next major milestone, which is the entry burn. Entry burn will be the center three engines of that first stage core. Be a short burn, but enough to begin the process of bringing the first stage back for ultimately the recovery. What you're seeing there are the cold gas thrusters, everything normal. Part of the way that the ship, stage one, of the booster, of course, conducts its steering. And we are up to the entry burn. There we go. Again, short burn, but begins the process of the return of stage one. It should be shutting down just momentarily. There we go. We have the completion of the entry burn. At this point, once we go subsonic, again, those grid fins, as you can see right now, starting to get heated up now as they're hitting the thicker part of the atmosphere. Those will do the lion's share of the steering to bring the first stage back and down on its correct trajectory back to the recovery ship. Pretty neat watching those things heat up and glow. Once we get a little bit closer, and it won't be more than just a half, 3/4 of a minute here, we'll have the landing burn. That is a single engine, that will light and, of course, bring the first stage down, hopefully to its landing on just read the instructions. Speed burning off, altitude burning off, and we should, hopefully, we'll see a little bit of the recovery ship's lighting as it comes in a little bit closer, but we should have landing here in just a few seconds. And there is the landing burn, right on cue. And a little thing it was, and we perfect landing. Congratulations, SpaceX. Another picture perfect landing. Just waiting now for confirmation of orbital insertion. We have cut off at this point. And that's all. All right, folks. Well, there we go. We have another successful launch, recovery of the first stage, and 21 additional Starlink satellites are on their way to be released into their respective orbits, joining the constellation of the Starlink satellites already in orbit. I hope y'all had some enjoyment watching that. And again, earlier this evening, we did have a launch, quite a spectacular launch of the most recent. It was a number of satellites, number of payloads, but the most important, of course, is IM-2 going to the moon, the new lander. A little bit of you can go back and watch the video of that, but it was a little bit of concern there. We weren't sure what was going on with the package doing communication. But they finally were able to corral that, and we'll keep track of that. And hopefully within about, I believe it was 8 or 10 days, be working on the way into a successful moon landing. Do some really big science out there. So with that, anyway, just hope you enjoyed that. And again, this is the second launch tonight. We are excited and proud to be able to bring that to you. Thanks again to the subscribers. Thank you if you are a subscriber. Thank you for being a subscriber. Please consider joining. Please like, share, subscribe, do all those cool things. Helps us get the page out. Thanks again for the bumper music that you heard. We are very appreciative of having that. And I think that's covered all the bases for tonight. So we do have a lot going on, and I'll be a little bit further into this. Let me do a video next couple of days here leading up to it. But I do believe that we are still scheduled, we were scheduled for Friday, and it still looks like it's on the manifest. Friday at 6:30 p.m. So I'm going to might have a delay on that from my end, but we'll work that out. That will be flight test 8, so that's the big thing. But we do have coming up just some progress launches and a Long March launch that's coming up before that. And then, of course, some Starlinks. Again, after that, 12:20 is going up on Saturday. We'll cover that. So with that, guys, just keep an eye on the page. Hit the like button, hit the bells, do all the whistles, do all them things. We appreciate you coming out, and we will see you at the next launch. God bless. See you later.